Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here. Welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of May 31st. Not only the last day of May, but patch day 9.2.5. Let's go ahead and start the video as normal though, with the Mythic Plus affixes for the week. This week we have Fortified, Bursting, Storming, and Encrypted. Again, that's Fortified, Bursting, Storming, and Encrypted. I did promise some easy affix weeks coming up. This one definitely qualifies with Bursting and Storming. Fortified is also preferable to Tyrannical, therefore pretty easy week. Probably seeing quite a few high push keys, and that's good for Alliance, who will also be able to team up with the more prevalent Horde to get more keys done, hopefully. So definitely a good week for this. Let's go ahead and talk about what is going on in the game this week before we expound more on the patch stuff. So this week we have the World Quest bonus event. Again, not super great in Shadowlands. Can't say that too many times, I suppose, throughout this entire expansion. It's just the way it is. We also have, of course, PvP brawl going on. Towards the end of the week, we'll have Darkmoon Fair starting, and then we also have the 1,000 boat bash. It's like 1,000 needles. You go to the boat. It's just a really small event. Not much to do there. I think I did a video on it. If not, I did it and decided not to do a video on it because it was kind of not much to do, frankly. I would love to see more stuff added to these kind of things, and I always say that, but it's just the truth. So that starts on Monday. It's just like a little 3-day event or 2-day event, whatever, to do the 1,000 boat bash. I think I don't know. I can't even remember what it was, honestly. But the big news this week, of course, is that it's patch day. It's patch 9.2.5. There is some huge nerfs coming to the raid. And somebody actually put this in a very good point. It might have been J.B on Twitter. But somebody did put a very good point about this. And that's that essentially, if you look at the item level and everything like that the people had during the race to world first, that's the same item level like that my guild has now. So we're trying to clear the same raid, but in a lot less time, essentially, than what they took. They took 3 weeks with, 12 to 16 hours per day, which if you actually do the math of that, my guild who raids 6 hours a week, that we really... there wouldn't even be enough time in the patch if it took us the same time. So I think there's already been nerfs, of course, but I think these massive nerfs are actually needed because there was no actual way to nerf since the raid was tuned for double legendaries and tuned for set bonuses and stuff, there was actually no artificial nerfing of the raid or just you eventually overgear it or whatever. There's no system in place that nerfed the raid. So I think the nerfs are totally justified because of that. Because people who don't raid all day and all night, or people who don't raid even like 12 to 16 hours, anybody lower than that, it can be a bit of a struggle if just from a time perspective, not from we could do it in the same amount of polls, we can do it in the same amount of whatever, but we just don't have the time to do that many polls and stuff like that. So I think the nerfs are pretty good just because of that. I would love to see us continue to see systems that nerf the raid instead of just hot fixes that nerf the raid. But yeah, still pretty good. And systems meaning eventually your Sanctum shards got to rank 5. Eventually, your cloak from Nyalotha got to max level, stuff like that. Where the the raid nerfs over time just by taking part in a system that's in the patch or whatever. So I'd like to see that more, but that's pretty good. There's also quite a few class changes coming out. Nothing for Paladin really. A few PvP changes as well. But if you want to check those out, you can check out the patch notes. So we are getting a little bit of tuning as well to go along with this patch. And of course, the biggest thing is the faction thing. So for anything that you form the group yourself, you can use the tool to form a group. You can now do Horde and Alliance in the same group. And you can take part in things like Torghast, raiding, rated PvP, all those kind of things in a group using the group finder, whatever. You can also invite with battle tag and stuff like that. as well. So if you have battle tag friends, you can just invite them to your group now, even if they're on Horde and you're on Alliance. It's not really a big deal. So, that's pretty good as well. You can also, if you're on the same server, trade between Horde and Alliance. Not a huge deal. Some people might be worried about economy and stuff, but a lot of people don't realize, but the auction house has been Horde and Alliance for a very long time, like a decade or something. Like it's been like that for a very long time, so it won't really affect the economy at all. So that's just a good thing in general. So pretty much all good news there. For Alliance, what you're going to see, the best news for Alliance is if you're an Alliance player at this point, you probably like to play Alliance. I will talk about another thing, but you probably just want to play Alliance. But it's been rough because it's hard to find like Mythic Plus groups and stuff like that. So now we'll have as an Alliance player, I'll have access to all the Horde groups as well. Now Horde groups might be a little bit segregationist at first and not want to invite Alliance players. But I think overall, at the end of the day, eventually people will just invite the best players regardless of what faction they are or anything like that. Maybe they'll make fun of you or something, just clowning around, but it'll be fine. And then for the other thing for Alliance play or for Horde players, there are people who want to play Alliance but joined Horde because it's the better place to raid, better place to do endgame. So they joined the Horde with their friends, so that way they could just do it. And a lot of those people, not a lot, but some of those people want to actually play Alliance races and just play Alliance in general. And now they can play Alliance while still doing everything with their friends. And the same thing goes for the Alliance. We have guild members in our guild on the Alliance who are going to be going Horde and just join the community and still raid with us and stuff because they want to play with us, but they always kind of wanted to play Horde for other reasons, some PvP reasons, other things like that they have just wanted to play Horde for that. So totally understandable there. And it's just going to be, in general, I think it's going to be a really positive change because we've always talked about how do we fix the Alliance versus Horde imbalance, and probably a lot of people are like, how do you even, there's no way to fix it, it's broke. Well, the way you fix it is by just getting rid of it. I think that's a solution that some of the community came to, and then eventually Blizzard just came to. Like, the only way we can fix this problem and not have the Alliance completely die is if we just make it something that doesn't exist anymore. And so we'll see how it goes, but I'm generally positive about it because we have some guildies who play both Alliance and Horde, and there'll be like no plus 20s listed on the Alliance side, and they'll be like at like a weird time of the day, but there'll be like 20 to 30 listed on the Horde side. So that'll be a nice change of pace for me for sure, to be able to find groups for stuff, hopefully at least. And just being able to form groups for anything, just having more of a player base to work with, having the entire player base to work with instead of just, the Alliance. The Alliance endgame side is very small. The overall Alliance Horde side is not that different. A lot of the RPers are Alliance, for example, and there's a huge RP community in WoW, and a lot of just casual players are also Alliance. But for the endgame stuff, it's pretty sparse for Alliance, to be completely honest. We're like 1/10, 1/20th of the numbers for Horde as far as the endgame goes. So it's going to be really great for that. But that's it. I'm super excited for this week. Super excited a little bit for the Sepulchre nerfs. That's going to greatly increase my guild speed to finish up the raid, I believe, which will be nice too. It's nice to be able to have time to farm the raid when you're done too, not just try to squeak out the CE at the end, which a lot of times a 6-hour-a-week guild has to do. So that should be nice too. So generally positive for the week. Looking forward to it. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.